Hey everybody, it's Cindy here, and for the last couple of weeks I've been doing my best to prepare you to have a really nice holiday season. As much as you're able to, no matter what kind of life circumstances you're going through or the normal stress of the holidays, there's no reason at all why we can't enjoy this time of the year. And so a couple of weeks ago I did a video on grief and the holidays. So if that is your situation, you might want to go back and take a look at that. And then last week I talked about excessive behaviors and how we tend to overeat, overdrink, overspend, and overdo a lot of things in the holiday season. And that doesn't have to happen if we're conscious about how we spend these next few weeks and end the year on a healthy high. And so today I want to talk about peace. This is the Advent season, so for those of you who are Christians in the world and who celebrate Christmas as the birth of Jesus Christ, the season of Advent is the weeks leading up to the date designated for that celebration, and this is the Advent week of peace. And peace is one of my favorite words. It just is one of my favorite words. And no matter what religious leaders or mentors or spiritual leaders you have followed, if any, in your life, peace was a part of their behavior. Think of Martin Luther King, think of Gandhi, think of Christ, think of Buddha, there's so many. But peace has been a part of their leadership, actually, and part of their conscious choice and behavior in their lives. And so that's what I'm wanting to suggest that you bring to whatever table you are attending during these holidays, whether you're spending time on your own, whether you're spending time with friends and family, traveling, staying home, going out, whatever you're doing. And often we call it the hustle and bustle of the season. Whatever you're doing, I want you to focus on peace. Now, one of the greatest challenges is peace amongst relatives, right? I don't know what it is about family, but often in families, our buttons get pushed and emotions run high. Usually our family relationships are loaded. There's a lot of history there, and sometimes it's been a difficult history. Or there's lots of different personalities coming together at once. Some of you may not have seen each other in several years. Some of you may not approve of each other's lives. There's all kinds of things that can kind of stir things up at the holiday season. But there isn't any reason at all, no matter what, that you cannot remain peaceful throughout. So here's some suggestions. First of all, just make a decision ahead of time. I am going to be peaceful no matter what, right? No matter what, no matter where I am, what I'm doing, who I'm with, I'm going to be peaceful. Then keep in mind as you're approaching each event that you attend with people you know, keep in mind how you have judged them ahead of time, things you're expecting from their behavior, things you anticipate, and how those are judgments that you're making ahead of time that gets you stressed out before you even get there. I've done this. We come to expect certain things from people, and we can either let it get us stirred up before we get there, or we can let it prepare us to be even more calm and peaceful. And so that's a shift I'd like to see you make. If you're going to think about what so-and-so is going to be like at the holiday table, and you're pretty sure you can predict their behavior and you don't like it, I want you to decide now that, hey, that's who he is. Hey, that's how she is. And I don't have to be reactive to it at all. That may be just how they show up, and maybe actually not. Maybe if you're not expecting it so much, maybe they won't be like that. We kind of sometimes put people in a box, and we don't give them a chance to be anything but how we've experienced them at other times. And you never know. So I would go with more the thought of, people are going to be themselves, and and I may not really line up well with how they live or their personalities, but I can be my calm, peaceful self anyway, and I can look for ways to delight in their company. What do I like about this person? What do I like about each person at this table? What memories do I have that are positive with each of these people? Maybe you had a cousin you grew up with that you had a lot of fun playing with, and now as adults, though, your lives don't line up very well, and you don't even understand them anymore, or maybe you don't even like them anymore. But you could focus on that delightful history that you have with them. Or maybe the opposite is true. Maybe you have a really tumultuous history with someone in your family. Maybe during your childhood, an uncle or an aunt or a grandparent or a parent or a sibling treated you very, very badly. And so you have a harder time being around them now because of the past. But what needs to happen then for you to be peaceful is a forgiveness of the past, a letting go at some level. If forgiveness is too strong of a word for you at this point, somewhat of a releasing, a letting go, or at least leaving it in the past, leaving the past in the past, and attempting to relate to them in the present moment at whatever level you can. Even if it's simply saying to yourself, he or she is a human being just like me. And none of us are perfect. And we've all had our moments of things that we're not maybe proud of or happy with ourselves about. And we also all deserve personal peace, peace in our relationship, and the ability to move on now. So if you can grasp any piece of aspect of what I just said there about some of your relationships that have a difficult history, that can also help you feel more calm and relaxed as you're interacting with other people over the holiday season. The other thing is that you may make sure you set yourself up to be in control of your schedule. So you can balance visits however you need to. Maybe everybody's getting together for a whole weekend and meeting at a ski lodge for the weekend. But for you, that 3 or 4 days with the whole, with 25 people feels like too much. And you just want to blow in for a day, and then you're going to do other things the other couple days, or you're going to give yourself that option. So there's always that. If you have a spouse or partner traveling with you, you may say, let's check in every night and see how we're doing and see how we want to live the next day. And feel free to change your minds. Maybe you had plans to leave the group because you thought a day or 2 would be enough, and then you end up feeling so good that you want to stay longer. Great. Or maybe you plan to stay for 4 or 5 days, and then after 2 days you think, you know what? I think it's time for us to go. Then allow yourself the freedom to be flexible with those plans. No one's going to, die from you changing your mind. It's really okay. You're in charge of your own schedule, and you're in charge of your emotional barometer, and it's up to you to manage your stress. And if part of managing it is to limit your time with some people, that's okay. I would like to see you get so good at knowing yourself and being in touch with your emotional self that you know exactly what you need to do to stay in that calm, peaceful state, no matter where you are, whether you're home or away from home, whether you're with others or by yourself, and that you can enjoy the full holiday season without any drama at all. It is possible. So remember, the human beings you're spending time with are human, just like you, imperfectly perfect, just like me and you and all of us. And you want to give yourself and them a chance to enjoy each other's company. Look for things you have in common. Look for things that you can share or things that activities you can do together now that create a joy-filled, delightful environment. So for some people, reflecting on the past and joking around about like my brother and I seem to, and my sister, we seem to enjoy talking about cartoons we watched when we were kids. Like that, we have little sayings from those, and those seem to come up when we're together, and it's just so much fun. You know, we laugh and we giggle, and we talk about those times, and that really, I just find that so delightful and fun for the three of us to share. And we play games with our mom. Like we play cards and board games and things like we did when we were growing up. And that was a really fun, safe activity and space for us as a family to do. And so we continue that today. And those are some of our best times, in my opinion, still today as a family. And it's really wonderful. It's a joy-filled time. So even though some of our family life growing up was really rough, our parents had a very difficult marriage, a nasty divorce, and you know, we had our trying times as a nuclear family. But yeah, we can find ways to delight and enjoy each other now, and not dwell in that kind of thing. And so that's what I mean. That's just a little glimpse, a tiny example. But anyway, learn to appreciate people for who they are now, not who they've been, 20, 30 years ago, but who they are now. Get to know them as people now. And hopefully they've evolved some, and that you can find some common ground. And then forgive, let go, release as much as you can. Keep the past in the past and stay in the present. And then give yourself some flexibility in your schedule. Do what you need to do. Go in and out of celebrations at your own pace, without guilt and without concern for what anybody else thinks. And above all, have a peaceful, joy-filled holiday season. Hope this helps. Talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.